Poďme to tvrdá raz rozprúdiť. Dneska je 164. relaxačný tréningový deň, je 3.5.2024. Začíname 18.51. Dneska sú klikožroutých 90, 80, 70, 60 a 50 klikožroutov. Je piatok. Začíname 18.51, 3.5. Ideme si zobať vest, ideme to rozprúdiť. Takže sme tu, vestu máme, ideme samozrejme hneď vytočiť 90 klikožroutov hneď z brsu. Pustíme si pod nás, dneska nás čaká ťažký neoprosný deň. Ešte by som chcel vytočiť zo pár ústreho, zo pár krkonošov, čo ako všetci vieme, bude strašne neoprosné. Poďme na to. Je to fúčka. Kolene v našej komunite. Je to fúčka. Je to futro. Je to peritín. Dobre. Takže 90 máme za sebou. Musíme si tohto podľa tohto pičusa.
There's nothing about what...
Aj tohto pičusa.
And you want to get some masters here at least, you said?
Yeah. I think I can definitely. Well, when I was disciplined and playing better, I was making a steady climb, and I kind of just quit. I'm so sick of how much they change. This is a side note, but I'm so sick of how much they change this game on every patch. It feels like a new game every time. So, like, I think there was like a patch that told me, so I stopped trying to climb. But yeah, I'm trying to get masters. But I don't know when the seat split ends, or I have to.
The split will be, yeah, probably not doable in the split by the time the split ends, because it's only like a month or so, I think. Maybe like a month and a half or something. But next split, I mean, you're already flat. If you can make some big adjustments, and if you've hit diamond before, what you tell me, it should be doable. Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I have people in my house like doing maintenance because it's like on the military base, and we had our roof leaking like a couple days ago.
Oh, the other day I had my basement completely flooded, so...
That's wild. What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about this play real quick. So you make this roam. Now, I'm gonna open up the game state here. You see at the bottom, it's like the game state. You've got this Giga Maokai and this kind of Giga Vagar. I mean, you guys are gonna go on to win this game, but you know, facing better people, doing bad dives will make you lose it. Here, it looks like you're, let's see what you see.
He put a ward down.
You saw the ward, and you loop around it, I think. Hey, you got around it reasonably.
I was hoping Swain would tank tower. Even then I was still dead.
Yeah, but it's a very... This is just beyond ambitious. You have no idea. What the hell was that? Was that a dog in your...
Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in his crate. He's going crazy. Wait a second. Winston crate. Alright, I'm back.
Let's talk about this dive. You know, this is the type of dive that... This is the type of stuff, I guess I should say, in mid-game that'll lose your entire games. I don't really know what you think you need to do this for. Other than just swag points.
It's kind of like I feel like I need to push the pace of the game ahead. I think.
Why?
That was my thought process.
Camille's not Tryndamere. We're not on the clock.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's my biggest issues. I'm like.
So let me tell you how all the Camille's that I've ran into in Diamond and higher here have played. Most of them will. I mean, yes, if they're snowballing, they'll find opportunities, but they're definitely not. They're not rushed. You understand? They're not gonna force anything because they know they're scaling. They know they're keeping pace with you. Remember the runes that you go, right? You get free boots in your page, right? Your Camille, you've got true damage. You haven't even spiked an item yet. You can like afford it right now, and you're doing this shit. Do you see why? This is why I'm stopping this point in the replay, because like, to me, this is the type of shit that it screams that you just punt games. Because right now you could literally just, after this tower falls and you shove this wave in, you could literally just spike a recall. You have TP coming. You could spike a recall and get Sunderer, which is what I assume you're building still. I mean, I don't know if Camille swapped over to Triforce or not. But you go Sunderer. I look at this ward down here. Wave's probably going to crash, and then you'll have something that's a real tangible in bot or mid. And you could choose to TP, or you could just walk with your item spike. Instead, you've got all this gold in your pocket. I know this fucking, hold on, what is that, 11 minutes? Okay. Fucking replay system's garbage. But you've got all this gold in your pocket, and the best metaphor that I have for this is essentially, imagine you're about to go to a gunfight, right? And you can bring any gun that you can afford to the gunfight. You're deliberately not putting a scope and a silencer or whatever the fuck on your gun, extended mag or whatever, when that's all you're allowed to do that before you make your next move. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
You've got stuff at the house that you can get that no one else can afford. And you're choosing to take a fight here, right? When you frame it up like that, it usually is the aha moment, like, wait, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right?
It's very stupid, yeah.
Like, why? Like, what's the point? Like, I got ahead and I'm not even able to use it. And then what you just do. So at the moment, I want you to kind of, this is why VOD reviews are nice, because they kind of like really put a spotlight on the situation. So right now, Veigar has this much gold behind. So he's rich as fuck too, right? And you've got a gold lead over everybody, except for maybe Udyr, right? But he's on our team. Well, you're effectively walking around with 3k gold when you should be walking around with, 4.3k gold. And so you're about to make this play, but look at the gold values after you get on the map and you make your next play. So now you've thrown your ult into the middle, and then you've died. Now, notice the gold values as you're dead, okay? Watch the gold values. Notice how everyone has just caught up to you, just like that. And now you're about to make a move to bottom. Yes, you have your item and that's all well and good, but think about how needlessly messy and difficult this fight's about to be because you don't have your ult now. No ult to outplay the Veigar, right? Which would have let you, everything about this fight, you would have gotten out probably. You could have taken a stab at it, got the kill, Veigar shows up, you ult his ult, and then you wait out your E, and then you E away. That's how that would probably go.
Yeah.
So
I've actually never thought of that. It's a good one.
Right. You talked at the beginning of this about fundamentals, and you have reasonable laning fundamentals, but the biggest thing that is going to separate you from getting to the tier that you want to get.
Ako jediný rozdiel medzi ľuďmi, ktorí zabíjajú a tí, ktorí nezabíjajú, je ten, že tí, ktorí nezabíjajú preto, lebo sú AFK. Najväčší rozdiel je, či dostaneš AFKerov, alebo dostaneš AFKerov. Tí ľudia sú sprostí. Oni majú základnú koncepciu, totálna náhnitu. Oni vôbec nerozmýšľajú, vôbec neuvažujú. Vôbec, ale vôbec. Ľudská rasa je strašne zaostalá, nahnitá rasa. Je to strašné pozerať.
Too. It's just understanding that you said it yourself. Everybody's kind of got more hands as you climb the ranks, right? And I'm not saying that NA is particularly impressive mechanically because I made Masters pretty easy before I even came out here, right?
Yeah.
And I did it kind of just autopilot pathing with Nocturne. So mechanically, NA is not that great, but it's still better than Platinum. Do you know what I mean? Like they're still gonna catch up a bit. So what's really gonna help you is just remember what your champion is doing. And you know, you can go into games and say, well, I want to try to snowball my lane and get ahead. I'm totally with you at that. But the minute that you get ahead, you need to think like your competitive player. You need to think coast and be surgical, right? Camille's whole thing is talking about precision. I think that's a pretty apt description for how you should be playing your team fight phases, no matter what your champion is. It has nothing to do with just Camille either. I've been saying up and down how my team fight game is pretty whack when I'm facing like good players here in Korea, right? Because they're way better at like piecing together a team fight than me. But it makes it a lot easier for me now in post to go through these coaching sessions and be like, okay, what the fuck is this guy doing? Because none of these guys would be even taking this fight with Camille that I face. They wouldn't even bother because they spike their item. Anyways. So you get your Sundry, you go back to collect your big wave top. How did you just play that? Let's see. Okay, so you're confident enough to play it that way. You ever just delay the E and hold it?
Yeah, sometimes I hang on the wall, but then you get hit by the attack speed slow sometimes, so it's a bit rough.
No, I like it. I like the way you played it. It looked confident. So this is truly just you're manhandling a bad player is what this is.
Yeah.
Right, like this is what this game is, and I can clearly see it because, yeah, she's just not ulting. She's not playing back at you at all. She's barely even running, to be honest. So we're just stomping a noob, get the wave under, and hopefully you exit. You do. All right, what do we come up with now? E back to top. What's the status of the objectives? So we got Rift coming up. That was Swaggy.
She outplays me in the bushes there.
Yeah, she has item. No, she has item now. So it's a lot harder. So you were dominant until that moment, until she gets item. It's like you said, it's Fiora favored for sure, because you can always fuck up first Fiora and die.
She doesn't fire that.
Ja sa nečudujem, že dobrý to pičusov. Oni vôbec nerozmýšľajú vôbec.
Alright,
To sú
let's talk about
prázdne
these
chore
plays.
sračky. To je prázdna
So-
sračka títo ľudia.
You get this kill top with the
Oni vôbec
Udyr.
nerozmýšľajú vôbec. Sú prázdne zaostalé zombie.
Now, you decide that you're gonna fling a TP down the bottom.
Mentálne odrovnané hovna.
Let's see, do I think it's worth? It's good awareness to be paying attention to a fight down bottom. But... And you do get the kill, but I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked you earlier. What exactly does this accomplish here?
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want Swain to die, I guess.
You're winging it. Yeah, you're winging it. You're
Yeah.
winging it. You're winging it. And and people will say, well, he's gonna get tower there. Yes, you're gonna get tower there, but I'm of the school of thought right now that Udyr's got this rift coming. He's about to get, and you're going all the way down to bot side. in my opinion, you could go down here and you could, first of all, you could just get countered for this. Like, Maokai could literally just show up, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that, like, it just seems needlessly fancy. You just won Rift. It's guaranteed. Right?
Yeah.
There's no... You're not unlocking anything by doing this, except, I mean, yes, the tower, but that tower is almost always going to fall eventually anyhow. I guess what I'm trying to say is your TP is a big move. So unless you think that if Veigar is like winning that 1v1, which I don't know how in the world he's winning that 1v1 versus Swain anyways. But if he, you know, if you're worried about that, or I could maybe understand it if you saw Maokai coming and you're like blocking it or something. But it just seems very like you're erratic based on what I'm seeing. Right? You go into lane, you're trading wild, you could have gotten ganked right off the rip, you have no flash, guy just kind of sucks at Fiora. It seems like you're trying to play outside of a pace that's really necessary. And you probably walk yourself into a lot of bad spots doing it. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Skvělí ľudia.
Yeah, I just entered a Mordekaiser game because of that.
Skvělí ľudia.
You did?
Skvělí.
Yeah.
Speak it. I know you were for Camille coaching, but...
Yeah, I have a pretty, when I played on the competitive team, I know it's when you're climbing it's best, when I focus on climbing, I'm going to stick to, I usually stick to Shen, and then Camille, and then, I've been liking Cassante, but usually it's Kled. But I played on competitive teams, so I have a pretty decent champ pool.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm pretty bad at Mordekaiser. I don't know how, but I'm pretty terrible at him.
Well, let's see what you do with it. All right, so first things first, this will sound hindsight hero-y, but you are facing a Kayn, and Kanes do this shit a lot, where they cheese chickens and stuff like that. I mean, lately in Korea, I've been cheesing chickens like every game because people like you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
You need to make it a point. Sitting up here is pretty irrelevant in this meta, in my opinion. You need to make it a point to guard an entrance, or to like sit in random bushes. With the intent to run away, obviously. So maybe like right here, so come from here or here, you can just kind of leave, or you can queue and leave. But it really is important because if this guy does what I think he's gonna do, which is he's gonna cheese chickens, he's gonna like fuck your jungler up, and it's gonna make the game really awkward. And I mean it. This has been something I've been messing a lot with. I've been screwing around with jungle in Korea and like doing opens on the enemy sides, like the enemy's quadrant. It's really fucking awful for the enemy jungler. Not saying that the random Kayn and Platinum is going to know how to continue it or make a big chain of fuck-ups after taking the camp, but it really does put your jungler behind, especially if they just walk over here and then they see that their shit's gone. It really just kind of screws the flow of everything up. So we'll see how the open goes.
Have you heard of 5 Point? I assume so.
5 Point? No, I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, it was like a competitive term when I played on my team, so the jungler would go stand in between and mid lane.
Got it. So it's like
I kind of just autopilot up top because every game when I played on my team, I would just go sit in that bush or right in front of that bush because my jungler would be watching. Yeah, so that's something I gotta think about is like covering for my teammates who aren't gonna 5 Point. So.
Right. Well, think of it. You know, Adrian Riven is a friend of mine, and I've played with him in high elo games in years past. He's a really, really high-rated top laner, and he has like the best. I think he got up to like top 10 in NA. And I laned against him a bunch, and he's always a really, really good player to lane against. And the thing with him is, we were talking, and he had a really good mindset about solo queue, and I would take basically anything he says is like gospel when it comes to like solo queue mindset because he's very good. And he basically was just like, you know, all solo queue is cleaning up everybody's mistakes. It's not about playing the best. He said it's about cleaning up your teammates' errors. You're basically like a janitor, right? And your teammates are fucking up, and you need to prevent them from fucking up. And that means that you cover.
Presne tak, na tom sa zhodneme, konečne povedal niečo, na tom sa zhodneme, čo hovorím ja dlhodobo. Solo queue, Liga retardov je o tom, zabrániť tvojim kokotom feedovať a keď skapu, musíš nájsť cestu, aby ten kokot buď ho zabiť naspäť, alebo nedovoliť dávať zadarmo minionu. Ne? Presne tak, ako sa zhodneme. O tom je solo queue. Musí zabrániť svojim kurvám feedovať a keď si to nepodarí, keď náhodou nafidujú, potrebuješ nájsť cestu, ako kurva, ktorá zabila tvojho primitívneho bastarda, musí buď zomrieť, musíš ho buď zabiť, dostať, rozdrtiť, alebo nemôžeš mu dovoliť ešte zadarmo dávať miliónov, väžu a iné sračky. Presne tak, na to sa zhodneme. Konečne niečo, na čo sa zhodneme, solo queue je presne, si ako údržbar. Potrebuješ fixovať, opravovať tvojich hajzlov.
Things that they didn't even know that they needed to cover. So in this case, in this example, I'm giving you the little meta tip that I think this is going to be more meta over time. I think more and more junglers are going to realize that they can really fuck over an enemy by just walking into chickens at like 123. Because that's what I do. I literally will stand here in a lot of my games and I'll just walk at 123. I'll just march over an enemy camp. I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll recall. As I'm taking this, I'll drop a ward here. I recall, and then I go to bot side. If I see the guy go this way, like towards top, I just path towards top and meet him at level 4. If he goes this way, I path towards bottom and guard my shit and ping my team. Now for the rest of the game, this guy's operating off this quadrant. I can just clear and then go back into this quadrant if I want, and I make him have to invade behind or gank behind. So that's why shit like this would be completely avoided if you were simply just looking, right? Now watch your poor Jarvan, because you already know he's going to do it.
Yeah, he typed GG top diff when he walked into his top
Oh,
side.
he did? I mean, that's not really just your fault, but...
No, yeah, I know, but that's funny. It's pretty funny that looking back on it now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous that he's blaming you. He should be watching it too. You know what I mean? You're covering his error before he makes it.
Yeah. Most of the time I'm full mute.
That's the ultimate blame team moment when they...
Skončili sme, bolo 3.5.2024. Skončili sme 19.13. A klika žlutý sezónami. Segment trval 22 minút a 10 sekúnd. Ja vytočí 0.